Hello everybody, it's your man the Bandit. I've got the big Bandit with me this afternoon. We're graced with his presence in person rather than on the phone. I noticed one of the videos that's been most popular was an episode with both of us on having a bit of a chat between ourselves on certain horses and what have you. So, Mr. Bandit, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hello all.
So we've got a few horses to follow possibly through the season, hopefully leading up to Cheltenham for you today, that we're going to talk about. There's some big prices on these at the minute, so it might be one that a few people want to have a tickle with. So without further ado, let's get into a couple of these. So the first one, Mr. Bandit, you want to speak about Aurora Vega?
Aurora Vega, yes. I was looking at the bumper race, and there's two of Willie Mullins in this race. One is Aurora Vega, and the other is Shaving. And I've had a look where else they're entered, and Aurora Vega is entered in the Meuse novice hurdle, 14 to 1. Shaving is 16 to 1. In the bumper, Aurora Vega is 20 to 1. Shaving is 25s.
So Shaving's also a Mullins horse.
They're both Mullins horses.
Shaving's not run yet.
And Aurora Vega is also in the Supreme at 33s.
So you got Aurora Vega in the bumper at 25 and 20s.
In the bumper, Aurora Vega's 20s
And Shaving's 25s.
and Shaving's 25s.
Right.
Aurora Vega has run twice before and won both times.
Yeah, still on screen there,
Last
folks. Willie Mullins, 12-5-year-old.
Well, Shaving hasn't been out yet. It's not run a race yet.
So what's your gut for Aurora Vega? What's your gut saying to you?
They've got to say that
Bumper race? Or
Shaving will go for the bumper. On Aurora Vega, probably the Meuse hurdle. Maybe if it's doing really well, it may go for the Supreme at 33s.
Right, so there's an horse, maybe best watch till its next run. Put it in
Yes,
a few,
definitely both of them.
yeah, possibly get it in a few bets. Have a tickle of it. But yeah, Shaving, Willie Mullins horse, not run yet. Possible one for the bumper, and then Aurora Vega could be Supreme, could be Meuse.
If Shaving wins its first race, I should have it'll go down to about 5 to 1 favourite if it wins first time out. That is.
Yeah. Right. Well, let's make sure we don't miss it when it comes out. Yeah. So an horse that I'm going to pick about myself, which the lads at Let's Talk Racing do a great show over there. It's always a pleasure to listen to. I've watched a few races of Nick Rocket, and they've talked about Nick Rocket quite heavily on how good they think Nick Rocket is, and I've got it in quite a few bits of the Burn Advisory. This horse, Parker Kings, finished ahead of Nick Rocket in a race at Furry House last year. So I've not seen it anywhere in any Cheltenham races. I need to have a good look across a few different bookies. But if anyone has any comments on Parker Kings, which is a JP McManus horse trained by Paul Nolan, or sees it anywhere, let the Bandit know, give us a comment on it. But yeah, I think that could be something to have a look at if you like big odds anti-post at Cheltenham. Another horse, what they spoke about when I've looked into, one that you'll like this, Mr. Bandit, an Henderson trained horse called South of the Border. Ran last year, 1st to 7 at Foss Lass. Was it Foss Lass? FA4, yeah, Foss Lass. And won also in November 22 at, where was that at? Nikan. Well, that might be a point to point. Yeah, it was a point to point. There you go. So yeah, won a point to point, and then won at Foss Lass in a National Hunt Flat maiden race. So that's definitely one to have a look out for. De Boinville ran it last time out. They talked about it, so I like the look of that. What they talked about. Supreme Jet got mentioned. I don't know if it was someone in the comments, but I had a lot of money on this 7-year-old last year for Cheltenham, and it didn't materialise. It didn't turn up. It won a race in October. I think that's when there was a bit of hype about Supreme Jet for the Supreme. Talked about that a little bit. I'd like to see that run before I have it in any bets. And then they also talked about an horse called Tomavian. Gordon Elliott trained horse, second on its first run. Yeah, one run, all Elliot trained horse. So I'm going to watch that. I've got it on my list of horses to watch. So, yeah, a few horses, what have been talked about by a few other people. Bandits looked into them. I do like Parker King's going to look for that. Going to look for where was the head? I think I'll close it down. The Henderson trained. Yeah, there it is. Safe for the border. What was that head open? String to Your Bow. 6-year-old Christian William horse. Won in April last year. Second in March. Yeah, they talked about that as well. He does like Christian Williams, one of the guys on the show. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to look for that Henderson horse, so for the border. Parker Kings I'll have a tick with him. The Big Bandit says Aurora, Vega and Shaving. Yep. So, a couple of horses that no one else has spoken about yet. To my knowledge, I watch a lot of preview shows. Shaving and Aurora, Vega. The Big Bandits come out with a couple. Get on it with the Bandit. As always, gamble responsibly. Spread bet with the bookies money.